If you ended the year 2022 being single, come. This episode is for you. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad that you're back for another video and you get to chat with me. My name is Fika Adeomi. Welcome back. So today, if you ended the year 2022 being single, come. This episode is for you because we're going to be talking about how we're getting ourselves prepared for our relationship in this new year. So, in regards to that, Happy New Year, welcome back, and I promise to bring it back to back in this year 2023. So, if you're single, come, let's talk. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to prepare yourself for a new relationship in this new year. And basically, we'll be considering three things, basic things. And under those basic things, we're going to talk about different areas of those things, and we're going to just explore these different ideas. And I already have it in my note because I couldn't just come not prepared for you guys. So today, the three things we'll be considering as you start a new relationship or as you work towards starting a new relationship would be the first one, which is waiting. So right now you're waiting to start a new relationship. You're like, oh, I ended the year without a relationship, or I ended the year breaking off a relationship, which is absolutely okay. Today we're just going to we're going to talk about how we can prepare ourselves for our next relationship, and I hope that will be the best relationship. So what is waiting period? I mean, a lot of people do not like to experience this period. They just like to, oh, as I'm ending a relationship, I want to get into another relationship. But the waiting period is the intent to choose to trust the result you're waiting for. So it's an intentional choice, and you choose to wait to trust whatever is coming ahead of you. And we see we practice waiting in a lot of things, and I see that, okay, if we can practice waiting in the restaurant, because I mean there are some restaurants that the food is good and you do not mind waiting 20 minutes 30 minutes to get your order ready. And there are sometimes you also know that, okay, I've applied for a scholarship, or I've applied for funding, and I know I turned in the best essays and things like that, and you wait and you trust the process of waiting, that, oh, whatever result I get is going to be the best result. So I want us to apply this into our new relationship this year. As you wait, you need to consider some things, because you need to consider, what can I do while I wait? And another thing to ask yourself is, what does God want me to do in this moment of waiting? Because the waiting is not just about, oh, he's going to knock at my door. Nobody's going to knock at your door. Sis or bro, nobody's knocking at your door. But the things you need to consider is, what do I need to do in this period, and what does God want me to do in this period? And some of those things would be, one would be to get rid of the baggage from your past. You need to learn to forgive whatever has happened in your past relationship, and that forgiveness do not only would help you in such that you take ownership of your life, and you do not allow the anger or the vexation from a previous events take ownership of your life. So when you let go of the baggage, you let go of whatever has been done to you, you forgive, which is usually not easy. But when you learn to forgive and let go, you kind of take ownership of your life. And at this point, you can then start to realize yourself and start to know what you want to do in this waiting phase. And the waiting phase is about getting ready. And to be getting ready, requires, which is the second stage of what I'm going to be talking about today. So the first one is waiting. You need to wait. You need to enjoy the process of waiting. You need to actually realize yourself. Who am I? What do I want to do? What do I intend to do when I get into a relationship and things like that? The second one would be getting ready. And to be ready, you need to be intentional. If you're not intentional, you wouldn't get the best results. So you need to be intentional about getting into a relationship this time around. You need to be prepared to be who you want from a partner. I'm going to repeat that. You need to be prepared to be who you want in a partner. And my friend and I, we usually joke about this. Are you your spec? So some of these things, some of the examples I think is when you need to prepare to be the person you want in a partner. A lot of people want a career driven person, or as a lady you want, or as a guy you want someone who is career driven. Are you career driven? Are you what you want in your partner? Because I think lights attract each other. So if they are going to attract each other, you need to actually be prepared to be who you want in a partner. Some people might say, I want someone very fashionable. Are you fashionable? You need to ask those questions. You might say you want someone religious. Are you on fire? When it comes to prayers, when it comes to not missing the fast and the prayers and everything, are you that good? So if you want those things, you need to be prepared to be who you want in a partner. And it is okay to dream if you're not there yet, if you're not there at if you're not at your career peak right now, or you are not yet with at that relationship with God. You need to just prepare. Like, that is what the waiting phase is for you to prepare towards being who you need to be, or who you want in your partner. Another thing is learning about yourself. And I think this is very important because a lot of us do not know a lot about ourselves, and that's what this period is for. Learn about yourself, learn how you like to express vulnerability, because vulnerability is a big part of relationship. You need to learn how to be vulnerable in a relationship, because that is when you see each other, you see more of each other when you're vulnerable. And another thing is under this vulnerability is learning how to express your feelings. This is a period to learn how you want to express your feelings, how you love to express yourself. Another thing is during this phase of learning about yourself, you need to put aside expectations of how you expect the other person to express themselves. You should just focus on learning how you want to express yourself, how you want to communicate, because better expression improves stronger communications. And when you express yourself, it's kind of avoid harboring resentful thoughts about the other person. So these are the things that are important when you're getting ready. When you're getting ready, you need to be intentional. When you're getting ready, you need to actually work towards being who you want to be, who you want in a partner. You need to work towards that. Another thing is be ready to learn about yourself and how you like to express vulnerability, how you like to talk about your feelings. And also you need to set aside expectations of your partner, because you're going to relate with a new person who is totally different from your ex. So you need to actually put aside expectations, put aside baggages, put aside the odds that your ex must have done. So, and be open to a new person, be open to a new being rather than what you've experienced before. The next one, which is very important in getting ready, is what I call learn to involve. And I think this is the phase I am right now. I'm trying to learn to evolve. I would say I'm a one-man soldier. I like to take things, do things on my own, think through things on my own. Like when I'm going through stuff, I just like to sleep through it instead of talk to somebody about it. And this is very important in relationship. When you're in a relationship, you need to learn to involve people, or involve the other person in whatever you're going through, because that is when you can build Trust. It is trusting the judgment of that person that makes you involve them. And I would say not everybody would have this at the beginning of the relationship because we are all coming from a different background. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to learn how to involve because I've just had a long time of doing things on my own and thinking through things on my own. So it might be challenging for me to involve the other person in things that I'm going through or things I have to do. So if what I'm building on right now is learning to involve the other person. And I think I'm beginning to do that because now when I have a situation, I kind of share it with my friends. Oh, this is what I'm going through. What do you think we need to do? And I am beginning to like that person because well, I cannot always find solution to everything. So you need to actually learn how to involve the other person. And when you I want you, I think this might be a discussion for another time because I mean, sometimes involving might be difficult because you have particular gender attributes dominating your gender, and gender attribute has nothing to do with your real gender. For instance, I am a woman. I have like the male and female attributes, and sometimes my male attributes kind of dominate, which is what I was talking about involving, taking things, taking charge, and things like that. So right now, I want to be open to involving other people. I want to be open to receiving help and things like that. So that's something you need to do. And another thing is the readiness and the willingness to practice love. That's something else you need to be ready for. You need to be ready and have the willingness to practice love. And these are questions you need to ask is how do I like to be loved? Then another thing is how do I like to express love? Because I want you to have it at the back of your mind that once, even if you get in a relationship today, the love or the act of practicing love is still going to be a journey. Love is a journey that like at each point or at each stage you open a new layer, and at that point you need to question yourself, how do I practice love at this stage? Take for instance, your partner is going through probably your partner took an exam and failed at that exam. That's a different stage for you guys because you guys have never had to go through that kind of emotional period before. And at that period, this is when you question yourself, how do I practice love? How do I show this person that I care for them and I want them to know that failing is not the end of the world, but it's an opportunity to re-energize and do it again. So you need to have this kind of questions at every stage of love because love is a journey. It doesn't just start in one day. It's something you grow, you water. It's like a plant. You need to water it and see it blossom. So the next one, which I'm going to be talking about, so we already talked about waiting. We talked about getting ready. Another one would be growth. This is very important, and this is when we drag the table, that table we're already always talking about. This is when we bring that table, but in this case we are not talking about what the person is bringing to the table. The question is, what am I bringing to the table? And with this mindset, you are getting into a relationship not just for self gratification or the need to achieve a milestone. When you enter a relationship with a growth mindset that, oh, I need to, how do I impact this person's life or how do I influence this person's life? It takes away that self gratification or personal milestone. For instance, you're not just thinking about, oh, I think I'm now so age and I need to be in a relationship. No, with a growth mindset, when you're going into the relationship, you are taking out self need and coming with the mindset that, okay, how do we influence each other? How do we impact each other? How do I give back to you? How do I make you grow? And growth is financially. How do I make you grow physically, mentally, emotionally? You need to be an emotional support to that person. You need to come with the mindset that I am willing to be emotional support to this person. I'm willing to grow this person emotionally. A good example would be, for instance, your partner or this your partner comes back from work and the person is like, oh, work was tough today, my manager said this to me and all. What you need to do at that point, if you have a growth mindset, or if you're thinking of growing, of if you're thinking of growth in your relationship, what you need to think about at that moment is how to be an emotional support to that person, and not just joke or make or trivialize the emotion of that individual. At that point, you need to think about, what do this person want me to say? Be sensitive of how you respond. It's not just you respond with, oh, that's what office is all about. Just need to breeze through and everything. No, you can make fun later, but at the initial moment, you need to be a good support to that person. You need to be a backbone to that person. You need to be prepared to support people emotionally. Another thing is, when you support people emotionally, it kind of build trust, because once I tell you something the first time and I see how you react to it, how you support me, I am able to build trust to tell you something else next time. But if you make fun of me the first or second time, then I distrust you with having such conversations. And what's the essence of a relationship if you are not vulnerable? You get what I mean? So another thing is, when you so from being a good emotional support, you build trust. And the next one is stronger communication. Trust me, when you have a good, when you've been able to build trust with a new partner or somebody you want to be with, you have the ability to have stronger communication. You have the ability to communicate in a better way, where you already understand each other's skills, and you can easily figure out what this person is trying, what message this person is trying to pass to you at that point. So when you have those things, you see that with a growth mindset in a relationship, you begin to talk about the future. And something I would want you to have at the back of your mind at this point is that when you're talking about the future with a partner, you do not set aside your own personal future goals. You need to still go on with your future goals. I'm saying this because, I mean, you might practice all of these good steps to having a good relationship, and at the end of the day, it might not work out well. Not because of a toxic relationship. Sometimes relationship might not just work out because of health or more personal reasons. And if it doesn't work out like that, where would your future goal be at that time? So as much as you are preparing your future and having future conversations with this person, you also need to carry your own personal goals. Do not lay them down, and do not let one affect the other. You need to, I'm working towards growing a life with you, and I'm working towards growing myself. These are two different things, and you need to work towards those two things. um well, I think I've come to the end of it. I do not like long videos, but I hope you're able to get everything. The waiting period is a good period because you're trusting that whatever is coming out of this is good. You need to be prepared. You need to get ready. You need to be intentional. You need to learn how to be vulnerable. You need to learn how to express vulnerability, and you need to have the readiness and the willingness to practice love. Then the growth mindset. You need to go into a new relationship with a growth mindset, and with growth mindset, you build good emotional support, you build trust, you have better communication skills, and also you come with the mindset that I want to influence and impact this person's life, and not only be the receiver. So I'm going to leave you with this today, that everything that comes from the Lord is peaceful and it comes with ease. However, a godly relationship doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. You would actually have like the hurdles like everyday life. And I want to tell you that with hard work, with intent, and with commitment, you can have a great relationship with your partner this year. So I wish you all a great relationship. I hope it leads to things you want. And Thank you for watching today's video. This was a long, I think this is the longest video I've had so far. So thank you for watching. Share with your friends and family, and do comment below. I look forward to your comments, and I look forward to having this conversation more with you. See you next time. It's your girl. I am Fika Adeomi. Bye.